And as long as I'm on a tangent, how I improve over the present day state of the art, there's an electrician who I knew, I guess his clients were in Newport Beach. He would go to the shipbuilders and he'd say, you know, I will lower your electrical bill for free, but I'd like half of whatever I save you. And you know, the shipbuilders with the heavy equipment, they have electrical bills in the hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. He'd go in, they'd agree, and he'd go in and he would just redistribute. He'd just rebalance the load, okay? And again, that has to do with curvature, though I'm not going to connect it at this point. But he would redistribute the load, and he'd get rid of friction. He'd get rid of resistance, okay? So it turns out that in this discovery with this, I know how not only does the pathway that energy takes, but this pathway is so perfect that you have to have energy going in the opposite direction as well. And there's a unique phasing and relationship, and I'll get real technical, and that's probably not where I should go right now. But so not only is it so many turns and so many wraps, but it's also to know how the energy also has to be moving in the reverse direction simultaneously. Okay, enough said on that. Okay, let's just go down the page. So yeah, that is the discovery right there. Those numbers and the relationship, which is a big blur and we can't even see what it is, which of course I would make bigger. Now I'm going to have you jump down because this is just a technical explanation of my work and I don't want to bother with it, and it's showing the present art and how I improve it. So instead of scrolling that way, don't go up a little bit on your bar, yeah, and just click and just shoot down. 5, 6, 7, keep. Yeah, it is. It's markorodin.com with a K. There's the coils that were made, that were tested by HP, that were similar, that were made. And there's a lot more that can be said about those coils. But anyway, keep going. That is my design. And it's very crude. That's what I tap into. That's what I've discovered. Those little red circles are spirit. Okay? Every one of those numbers on the torus is created. Every number in our base 10 system, everything that we know in math, this is inside it and underpinning in it. And that's a pretty big claim. That means that anybody in mathematics can come up to me and I can actually say that this is, there's an invisible thread of this inside whatever equation or formula they have. It travels linearly in a straight line. It looks like it's curved. It pulses in thirds. And so it's shooting from the inside out. And everything's created from the inside out. Okay, let's keep going. Just jump down. Okay, that was my work on DNA, but that's a separate topic. Again, that's showing how the numbers are created by the phasing, the emanations, and how things curve and warp because of that emanation. Okay, let's keep going. That's the present-day fusion device that's made by the US. Okay, keep going. Stop. Okay. We said we would see, we'll come back to this. So this is where we are. Where is it at? It's right there is where we want to come back when we're done. Because this is the beginning of endorsements and papers, appendix. This is all Russell Blake from Microsoft. That's his papers he's written. He gave me his, as long as we're there, he gave me his name and his whole professional career he put on the line for me. No, don't bother. Keep going. Because he put his whole professional career on the line by endorsing my work. Keep going. It's way down there. This is the papers he wrote on the use. This is the mathematical paper describing of my work, of what I discovered. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Doesn't matter. I lumped all his stuff together, so that's why it's all so long. He's done a lot of work. Stop. That's Professor Nelson. Let's skip it. Keep going. Or just look, Tom Bearden. Skip it. There he is, Dennis Watts. I don't know. I don't think his quotes letters there is, actually. You just have to take my word for it. Electrical engineering, systems integration, planner. He's the least one able to anticipate, prevent. Keep going. I don't think, see, his big endorsement at the beginning. Keep going. See, it's not there. Susan took it out. Oh, maybe it is there. No. Rockwell, Boeing, Magna. Keep going. Education. I don't think it's there. Nope, it's not there. Suffice to say that he said that what I discovered makes this, that this energy is real, it can be tapped into. I could dig up the letter. Susan has it if I had to have it. But it makes us intergalactic citizens. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing, but this is the German Journal of Oncology asking, this is my work on DNA. I consider your paper of extreme importance. To me, your conclusions are very likely. I recommend your paper for publication in the German Journal of Oncology. Dr. Hans Nieper. Okay, let's go up to the beginning.
Can you maybe just paraphrase how it makes us
Okay. I claim to be able to make a man-made black hole, okay, on the laboratory workbench desktop, okay? I claim that size is not a factor. You know, they talk about, oh, you have to have a magnitude of so many suns and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I make up for size by, instead, I make up for it, how I get around it is I know velocity. I get acceleration. That's because I know that curvature pathway, the way that everything goes. I have a name for it. It's a pretty simple name. It's called the doubling circuit. I'm going to open up a whole new topic now.
What would you do with a man-made black hole?
It creates a localized space-time implosion. When I was introduced by Keith Watson, he was in charge of the Bikini Atoll nuclear blasts for the US government. And he sunk a ship because it got it too close to the epicenter of the detonation, killing all 10 men on board that were supposed to be monitoring the blast. And so his specialty, his training is to be extremely cautious and to be sure that accidents don't happen. And when he looked at my work, he introduced me. He was kind enough to introduce me. He said, his saying was, he says, don't ask yourself whether or not Marko's crazy, ask yourself whether or not he's crazy enough to be right. But what he did when he first looked at my work, as usual, he was shocked. Because I rolled out big blueprints. I don't even think I have them anymore. And he goes, the usual thing, he said, you did this. And then he went protective mode, which usually happens, which comes along with a state of shock of seeing what it is. And he said he believed that the universe was created by a vacuum fluxation, and that he said that with this device you could create another vacuum fluxation and suck it back in on itself, that you could suck the universe back in on itself. I don't agree. I think that it's all, when you understand the principle, it's all scalable, and I think it is controllable by an operator.